So over the weekend, I was able to get out to Burbank Sportscards on their opening weekend, and it was a fabulous place. I call it a superstore. It's the biggest card shop I've ever been in. It's got wax, it's got slabs, it's got quarter singles, it's got it all. A kiosk to order cards on demand. Even as you approach the newly remodeled building, there's beautiful murals of Kobe and LeBron in his Cleveland jersey, so kind of going head to head. And then you got Shohei Ohtani on the other side. Just legends of Los Angeles at this point, and it just looks beautiful on the building. Honestly, it might just be the hype from the opening weekend, but every table and chair was at a premium. There wasn't a lot of place to sit there, and they had a lot of tables out and chairs for you to go through their quarter bins, which really is what I'm here to talk about today. I really enjoyed going through the quarter bins. I mean, you had football, you had basketball, you had hockey, they had everything. UFC, soccer, just every sport, hockey, they had it all. I only really spent so much time in a 500 count box looking through 1995 to 96 basketball. I ended up with 115 cards for $33.98 or $32.98, something like that. I was really glad to put my collector hat on, and that is what Rob Barris, the owner of the shop, also known as the Card Father, has been preaching, that he's trying to bring back collectors and collecting back into the hobby versus breaking and kind of the gambling aspect of sports cards. And I dig it. And really, it brought me back, especially those quarter bins again, just brought me back into kind of filing through cards that I may have collected back in the mid 90s, and just some sets that I didn't really know existed, like Hoops Power, SPX die cuts, silver sets, gold medallions, EXLs, the gamut. I mean, there was so many cards and not enough time to go through them all. So I look forward to going back and spending a longer time, just taking my time. I didn't get to any slabs. I didn't get to any individual players. They have a whole wall of like individual players, like let's say Sandy Koufax, that you can go through and pull a box and kind of shuffle through. Mostly insert cards, more modern insert cards of those players. They still do have commons and obviously cards, base cards of all of the stars and things of that nature. Now back to the quarter bins yet again. I didn't really have a game plan when I showed up there other than to go to these quarter bins. I did start out by looking at some slabs, but I quickly realized that's not what I was there for, at least on this visit. I wanted to get into those quarter bins and see what they were all about. So I certainly did get into the 95, 96. I was looking for the 96, 97 Kobe's year and all those great rookies like Allen Iverson and such, but that was probably on somebody else's table. So I had fun sitting and just going through these cards. It's just like hundreds of thousands of cards just sitting there, and it's just amazing. And like I said, I came back with 115 cards, 25 cents a piece, and that's just what they sell them at. And you can find the Easter eggs, I guess, in there. There's probably some autographs or some, out of tens, out of who knows, there might be a 101 in there. I doubt it, but you might find some gold in these bins. But my purpose was to discovering or rediscovering cards that I hadn't seen in years or I don't remember at all. And the cards are pretty cool, especially like the Skybox EXLs. Like those Jordan EXLs can go for $8 to $20 a piece, just the singles. Now there weren't any in there that I saw, and probably Jordans are all pulled, but nonetheless, it reminds you as you're going through, especially Jordan just sells really well. So if you're going through some of these 90 sets, like focusing on 95, 96, you have all the ones that I mentioned earlier, like SPX, silver sets, gold medallions. Those cards, like the gold medallion, for example, that Jordan card raw is going for like 135, 170, something in that range. And then graded, sky's the limit. So crazy dividends that you can get from Michael Jordan cards. But again, there was kind of a yin and yang. I wasn't there necessarily to find those. If they were in there, great. But these were really cool cards, again, to say it again, to rediscover and uncover some of these gems that are in there. All of these were selling at a quarter. I sell them for $1. Most of these will be on my eBay store for a buck. And for some collectors, they're just looking for these types of cards to finish off their sets. And I think that's a valuable part of the hobby and a service that Burbank Sports Cards is offering, and something that I can pass along and maybe make a little bit of money in between there, but nonetheless servicing and putting these cards out into the world. And I think that's what ends up happening with all of these cards that we do have and that are manufactured. They are either sitting in collections or they get put out online for others to discover and have for themselves and put into their sets. And then eventually, years down the line, they get sold and put back out into the world. And it's this cyclical thing, and that is the hobby. So it was really fun and cool to again visit Burbank Sports Cards for the first time, and I'll definitely go back. I definitely will be back there. All right, so that's it. Quick, short video. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe, like. See you on the next one. Peace.